Okay, so here's the deal. If you're not aware of this, I posted on Facebook earlier tonight while I was at work that I'd taken a video from something I witnessed, and I had some ethical dilemmas about whether I should post it or not, and I decided I will post it. The problem was that these were some guys that I saw. They were on their own property, I think. I have to assume, but maybe not. I don't know. Here's what's weird about it. If anybody was walking down the street, they could have seen it, so they had no reasonable expectation of privacy, as this guy on Facebook points out. So it should be fair to post it. I don't have to blur anybody's faces or anything like that, but if somebody gets pissed or whatever, that's, I don't know. We'll talk about it then. So either I witnessed a cult performing some kind of weird prayer circle. Hopefully that's what I witnessed, because if it wasn't that, then it must have been some kind of terrorist suicide bombers, because I don't know why else somebody would do this, because this was 5:30 in the morning. I was sitting at work. Here's what happened. I was expecting a contractor to come in at 6, so I was looking out the window anyway. I see this spot every day for the last 6-7 years. I've never seen this happen, so this is weird. This is unusual behavior. 5 o'clock, all these vehicles start pulling into the driveway at this place across the street. Not where I work, but across the street. I don't know what kind of place it is. I guess it's some kind of community center. Now that I've read the wall or the billboard on top of it this morning, it looks like some kind of Hispanic community center or something, right? So 5 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday, these guys start pulling in with their vehicles. You know, that's kind of weird. So then 5:30, they all gather in a circle and they start talking, and then they start holding hands. And I'm filming at this point. I'm like, oh shit, what is going on here? It was weird enough that they're all standing out at 5 in the morning. I was just trying to see, like, if something crazy happened, I'd get it on tape, right? And this is it's early in the morning and it's dark, and I'm zoomed in. It's not the best quality, but I think it's pretty good the way it turned out. But this went on for like an hour, 35 minutes to 45 minutes to an hour, something like that. Started out there was 11 guys, and then this other guy showed up to make 12 later on, about 6. He got there about 6, I think. They started about 5:30, and then I've never seen people pray for that long, and I guess I've never seen anybody pray a whole lot like that anyway. But the fact that they were all men, I don't know. Let's just watch the video and then we'll talk about it afterwards. Okay, today's date is 9/1/12. Take that however you like. This is going on right now. 5 o'clock in the morning, these guys show up, like 11 men, and about 5:30 they all hold hands in a big circle and they start praying, looking up at the sky, looking down. Like, that guy right there just looks like he's crying right now. I mean, these guys look like they're about to go to God today, or like they're planning something. I don't know. I called the police. I told the police what was going on, told them where they are. They're in front of this building. I don't know if it's a church or a community center or what it is, but I looked it up on Google, the name of it, and it has like these religious overtones to it. So it's some kind of religious type place. They all kind of look foreign. I mean, I'm just saying. Not that that means anything. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with practicing your freedom of religion and all that. But 11 men. I think there's another one that just showed up in this car in the bottom right corner. He just showed up 6 o'clock. I guess he's late to the suicide pact or whatever going on here. And half an hour, 40 minutes straight of praying with 11 men, 12 men. That's some weird shit. These guys are about to do something heinous and evil, and this can't be a good thing. It's not like they're all going to go to a bake sale later and like help feed the sick. These guys look like they're guilty of something, or they're about to do something that they want some kind of, I don't know, about to go meet their maker or something. But I called the police. I let them know what's going on, just so I don't feel bad later on when some shit blows up. But I can't blame the police, because there's nothing they could really do about it. I don't know what they would have done on 9/11 if somebody had called and said, hey, there's some weird guys taking these plane flying lessons in here. I don't know why. It doesn't make any sense, but there's nothing wrong with that. It's totally legal to take plane flying lessons. Nothing wrong with that. But shit happens. You heard it here first. It's fucking weird. Okay, was that weird for you guys? Because that was weird for me. Did I do the right thing by calling the police? Here's what happened. I called the police about 5:10 after 6, because this has gone on for like a half hour, 40 minutes. I'm like, what is going on here? These guys are guilty of something. They're going to do something they should be guilty of, because they're praying for a long ass time, and it's only men. Why would you have only men if it's just a religious thing? Usually there's a mixture of typical society, like men and women, young and old, not like kind of young, you know, in shape guys, only men. This is kind of people that you send to a war. This is like a tribal group of people getting ready to go to war. Basically, when you have men like that all sitting around praying, like, it's not like they're praying for rain. I don't know, what would they be praying for? When you pray for something, you want something to happen, or you want some kind of good fortune in something you're about to do, like if you're about to go to war. That's the only thing I could come up with. The only reason it makes sense. Then I started thinking about it, and I'm like, wait a minute, it is September 1st. It's not September 11th, but let's think about this. If you write out the date like Americans do, you would write 9/1/12 for 2012. So 9/1/2. Second 9/11, 9/11 part 2. You could read it that way. I know I'm going in with this like with a confirmation bias. I'm looking for reasons to explain what I've already got in my head that's going on, but I don't know. I didn't realize these guys were Hispanic at the time. I know I just saw this, they kind of looked foreign. So then I showed, when the contractors got there, I showed him. I was like, look at this, isn't this weird? And he was like, yeah, this is pretty weird. He got kind of freaked out too. Second guy came in, and he was like, if it was something like that, it wouldn't be those guys, I don't think. It'd be like if it was a retaliation kind of thing. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I guess he thought they were like some Christian group over there. So then, hours later, the other guy I work with comes in. He's like a really right-wing fundamentalist Christian. He says he's a libertarian, but I would call him a Republican. But whatever. He's still got this Billy Graham book he's been reading for years. He's never finished, or he just keeps reading it like people keep reading the Bible. And he's the kind of guy who still watches movies on VHS and listens to his music on cassette tape. So he's way out there. He comes in, and I show it to him, and he's like, well, if they were Muslims, they would be kneeling on the ground, and they'd all be facing the same direction. I'm like, come on, man. Not only Muslims are not the only ones that do shit like this. There's Oklahoma bombing. That was an American, you know. And then he was saying, wait a minute, those guys over there, I think they might be them Jehovah's Witnesses, or what do they call it thing, with the big thing on the sign. And I'm like, Seventh-day Adventists? I'm like, he's like, yeah, Seventh-day Adventists. I think that's what those guys are. And they go to church on Saturday instead of Sunday. So that maybe explains the Saturday thing. But think about this. 5 o'clock in the morning, only men, a group of 11 men, or 12 men, and then they don't even go inside the building. They just all stand out in the yard, and they gather in a circle, and they all start talking, and they all hold hands, and they start praying. And then at the end of it, I didn't film anything at the end, but they just kind of like got done. They broke apart. One guy had his hand up in the air, and then they all just sat around and talked a little bit more, like not holding hands. And then one guy had a book, some kind of holy book, I imagine. I knew the police wouldn't be able to do anything. I just said, look, I don't expect you to do anything about this. I just want you to know this and pass along this information so I don't feel guilty about if something does happen, you know, I don't have to worry about it. And, I don't know. I remember George Bush too, I think it was, gave a speech, something about being vigilant after post 9/11, like we all have this duty to report anything suspicious. I know it's like years and years later, but, you know, people talk about 2012, shit's going to hit the fan. I don't know. I'm just being precautious. All this is going through my head before I call the police. I'm thinking, well, maybe, you know, you got the Patriot Act, you got people doing illegal wiretaps. Why should I help out a government that's doing this to its people? And I don't know. It was freaking weird. If nothing comes of it, it's fine. But if, like, you know, they have a right to their religion, do whatever they want with their religion, just like I have a right to, like, if I'm walking down the road with a gun on my hip, I don't expect the police to come and ask me why I have a gun on my hip, because it's my right. I have that right to have that gun on my hip. They don't have any right to ask me why. I don't expect them to go and ask them why they're praying at 5 in the morning. But wouldn't hurt to have a dog going around, maybe one of those bomb-sniffing dogs, check their cars. I don't see any problem with that either. It's not stopping them. It's not hindering their religious rights and freedoms. Right? Am I crazy? Am I the crazy one here? I'd also seen something somewhere. I've been watching this TV show, The Newsroom, with Jeff Daniels. It's really good. I might have heard it on there. Might have heard it somewhere else. But there's this thing about if a terrorist wanted to get into the country, he would probably do it the same way illegal immigrants come in through Mexico or across the Rio Grande, or like through rafting from, I don't know, Costa Rica or somewhere like that, Puerto Rico. I guess that makes sense. Like, maybe they're embedded with some Mexicans or Hispanics or something. Maybe, I don't know. It's just weird. I tried to Google some stuff. I Googled the name of the place. I Googled with terrorism. Couldn't really find anything. The name of the place when you Google is kind of weird. It's about this guy who had some weird dream, kind of like a, I don't know, Babylon ladder type deal to heaven or some kind of crap. But then I was Googling like prayer circles and like 5 a.m. see if I could find anything, and I saw something about the YMCA in Middle Tennessee does like 6 a.m., 6:30 a.m. prayers. Like, why are they even having prayers in the YMCA? That's like a publicly funded thing, isn't it? But I guess people do pray at 5 a.m., 6 a.m., at least 6 a.m. I don't know about 5 a.m., 5:30 a.m. That was weird. It's really weird. I don't think there's any kind of special day being, I know it's Labor Day weekend, September 1st, August 31st perhaps. Maybe there's some kind of lunar eclipse or something, I don't know. Lexington, Kentucky is kind of like a crossroads between New Age hipsters because it's a big city, and you got the right-wing crazy conservative Christians that kind of all blend in together. Like if you go to meetup.com, you see all these crazy groups around your town that all meet up, and we got a bunch of wackadoos here that are like New Agers that are all into like that Reiki stuff and that healing with light and crystals and all kinds of stuff. I don't know how like they're not specialized into one specific thing, but apparently they believe all of it's true. They believe in your ki and your chi and your chakras and your secret whatever tapping for whatever kind of make things happen because you believe it kind of stuff. They believe in all of that. They try it all. They give it all a taste. Probably throw in some Wiccanism, and they don't just say, oh, I'm just into the crystal healing, all that other crap. It's just bullshit. There's no such thing as chi. It's all about healing light with crystals. No, they try all of it, apparently. Any kind of energy you got, they're ready to manipulate it with their tokens and their beads and their whatnots. And I'm just not into that. I don't get it. I don't see why they're, I don't know.